What are some of the worst things people do that messes up their sleep? Like they could
Guys.
be getting 10 hours of sleep, but they're
Right.
like, I feel horrible. I still feel bad. What are some of the worst things people do? When
I
it
want
comes
to talk about 3 things in particular. Okay, the first one is caffeine. Okay, caffeine keeps you awake. I think you guys know that, right? But it also has a very long half-life. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's like 7 or 8 hours,
Yeah,
meaning that
it's-
like if you drink it at like 2 p.m., like half of that caffeine will still be in your system when you're trying to go to sleep, okay?
Yeah.
And so that's very dangerous because when you have like imagine drinking like half a cup of coffee before you go to bed.
That's-
It's literally the same thing as drinking it at 2 p.m., okay?
yeah.
So when you're drinking caffeine, you really keep it don't drink it after 2 p.m., but try to drink it in the morning.
Yeah, I
Or
tried like first thing in the, like caffeine because
Yeah.
for me I'm green tea. I'm like I
Okay.
don't drink coffee.
Right.
I'm tea. Like I just feel like there's a lot. Not that there's actually negatives. Like there's been research that says like coffee is good to a certain point, right?
it has pros and cons, yeah.
Pros and cons, and then obviously if you drink too much, like some people like I need 4 cups of coffee or like
Yeah,
I need,
that's
like,
too much.
It may be a little too much, but morning and again like to put what Ben was saying in half life is like think if you take a cup of coffee at 2 p.m. That's the exact same thing like you said taking it at exactly 12. You are
Yeah, literally before you're going to bed.
like literally just a full and then be like, all right, time for me to go sleep.
That is ruining your sleep.
And I want to say that like you don't feel it because a lot of people will be like, no, I do it and I'm fine. The thing is, you don't feel it exactly, but the quality of your sleep worsens so much
By a lot.
like by so much that you won't feel yourself until you do it consistently, and then you start to ask like,
Yep.
man, like
Why
why
do
do
I
I feel
sleep
so
bad? Yeah.
bad? All right, what's the next thing?
The next one, guys, is alcohol. Okay. I don't know how to stress this enough. Alcohol it impairs your sleep. Okay. It does not help sleep. Okay. It is a sedative, meaning that it puts you to sleep in a way that it doesn't actually help you sleep. It just helps you go unconscious, I guess, if that makes sense. So it's not really.
So practically when you sleeping while you're drunk, you're just being you blacked out.
in a way, yeah. Like you're just, I mean, I don't want to say it.
It's not the same.
Yeah, I'm not a
same.
doctor on alcohol and sleep, so I'm not too sure. But the point is, when you sleep with alcohol in your system, your sleep is fragmented. You actually wake up a bunch of times without knowing it. You're ruining your REM sleep, all stages of sleep. You won't remember anything, there's actually another reason why you don't remember anything, because your sleep is so bad that night that you're not going to remember anything anyways, beyond the alcohol, but that's a
Yeah.
different story.
Hey,
And there was one thing that was interesting. They did studies on how alcohol specifically affecting your sleep impaired your learning. Okay, and what they found was that, let's say you learn something on Wednesday. Okay, if you get drunk Wednesday night, you are gonna retain 50% less of what you learned a week from Wednesday. Okay. The more interesting thing was, if you learn something on Wednesday and you get drunk, let's say on Friday or Saturday, you actually only retain 40%. Okay, so you lose, you retain 60, so you lose 40% compared to the 50% on that night, which is really interesting because even days after you've learned something, that alcohol and that bad sleep is still impairing your cognitive function, and not just learning, but other realms too. Learning is just the study we have.
You know what's hilarious about the two, like what we're covering right now?
Yeah.
These are all things that college students do. Like
Yeah.
literally every
Yeah.
drinking, from not sleeping enough, using caffeine because they're like, oh, I'm so tired and everything. Like college students are in this constant cycle of just doing all these negatives to affect their sleep, when in reality, you sleep, like school may be easier. Like just because you don't, like for me right now, all I'm thinking about is yeah man, like I'm really behind on my work, but forget that. I'm just gonna get my sleep tonight. Like that, like
No,
so serious.
facts.
I'm just gonna go get my sleep tonight. Like I'm gonna be like, okay, that's tomorrow's problem. I missed this one assignment,
Yep.
cool, whatever. They drop grades.
Move
but
on.
guys, we're trying to break you guys out this cycle. Please.
Please
Like
get
this
your sleep.
episode is not very, like, we're not introducing any crazy new ideas, but this is probably one of the most important episodes like we made.
I actually think, after reading this book, sleep, I used to think of the 3 pillars of health as being exercise, diet, and sleep. I now think of it as sleep, and then exercise and diet are below it, if that makes sense. Like sleep is the ultimate, like
sleep
not
is
even
ultimate.
close. Like, and it's just, it blows everything else out the
Yep,
water.
I'm getting my 7 hours, no more. After this, I'm a changed man. 7
Changed
hours
man.
of sleep, no matter what. Going to 11:30 in my bed, don't care. I don't
Sir.
care. And if you catch me outside of that time, you didn't catch me then. Okay.
Tough.
And last one.
Last one, viewing bright light, okay? we're not going to hit this too hard in terms of science, but just know that your phones, you've probably heard this before, your phones, laptops, your devices, even your lights in your house, they emit blue light that give you a signal that it's daytime, and it's really bad, after 8 or 9 p.m. Because your brain is being told that it's daytime when you need to be going to sleep. And yeah, so that actually really hurts your quality of sleep, and you need to limit the amount of bright light that you're seeing after basically 3 hours before you go to bed, okay?
So make sure you turn your brightness down when you're scrolling through TikTok. We know you guys are doing that. Just turn down your brightness at least, or delete the app. No, I'm kidding.
Turn on
Follow
night
me
shift
on
mode,
TikTok.
something. Follow me.
I was like, delete
shameless
TikTok.
plug,
Nah, never mind. Follow me on TikTok. But okay.